So in the last video, we talked about the PG-13 rating for Badlands and how the movie does not have any human gore because there are no humans in the story. It only contains Yautja, synthetics, and other alien creatures on the planet Jenna. Some fans are having doubts about how much gore will be in the film. Now, I did talk about this news article back in July, but I want to bring it up again because it points out something really interesting about the movie related to gore. The director teases a spine rip in the movie that is one for the books. I think it rivals any from the other entries in the franchise. This alone makes me think there's going to be some big epic spine rip scene, not just on your typical human-sized targets like in the other films, because in every other movie, it's the Predator versus the humans, or in some movies, against the Xenomorph. Director Dan Trachtenberg tells Entertainment Weekly that his new entry into the Predator and Alien franchise features what he believes is the most epic act of violence against a back ever. There is a spine rip in the movie that is one for the books. I think it rivals any from the other entries in the franchise. The article does mention there will be a battle between a Predator and a synthetic. We'll get the answer to who wins that battle. But really, it's based on the writer. So going back to these 2 points in the article that really stand out, there is one spine rip in this movie that rivals any from the other entries in the franchise, and it's the most epic act of violence against a back ever. We have seen the Predators rip the spines from the backs of their victims, mostly humans, so we kind of know what to expect there. So this epic spine rip Dan talks about has got to be something bigger than a xenomorph or even a bear, which the Predators have fought on Earth before in the comics and on film. The trophy rooms from many sources have shown they like to hunt alien queens and other large creatures on other planets, but the main big monster in Badlands is the Kalisk. So it only makes sense this epic spine rip might be around this giant creature, but that's just my guess there. Because if they do a spine rip on any other creature that we saw in the trailer, it won't have the same impact on the viewer. I was thinking if they would use some giant cleaver or sickle on a rope, then swing it onto the back of the Kalisk, or maybe use some explosives on his back to cause some open wounds there. Or what if they used the Mech, since it has increased power and strength, to rip out the spine of the Kalisk when it's weakened? Since the article mentions the spine rip occurs from the back, I'm wondering if this part, when Deck cuts the Kalisk along the front, will also continue into this epic spine rip scene. What if Deck gets to cut the creature along the back also, which makes it easier for them to rip it open and tear out the spine? So even though the movie is rated PG-13, we can expect some gore, and also an epic spine rip scene like no other in the franchise. Thanks for watching, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.